Okay, I guess we'll sweep the flag. Open the meeting up. President of the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Make a motion approving minutes
I'll
of
second.
both meetings.
I'll second.
Caleb, got something to do?
Yep. So I'll
Okay.
sit over here so I'm not talking behind Mark. So what you guys have there in the blue packets is the insurance proposal for the renewal for you. Kind of go through everything page by page, just make sure we have everything correct for you. The first couple pages are some of the marketing materials for us. It's kind of who we are and stuff like that. So one thing I want to mention, page 4. So it looks like this. It's Risk Advisor Connect. So I always like to mention with you guys being a client of ours, you have some value-added services built right into it that's free for service. So the first one's human resources. So any questions about hiring, firing, drug testing, anything to deal with HR, all you got to do is email me or call the number there in the orange at the bottom right. You'll talk to a human resource professional. They'll offer you free advice, whether it be anything dealing with HR. So don't forget you have that service there for you. Another arm that we have for you is DOT. I know you guys don't deal with DOT too often, but if you ever come across anything, we can help you out there. Safety is another arm. So a lot of those bullet points deal with OSHA, but one thing we're thinking about doing here too in Bradford County area is do like a certified flagger training for a bunch of municipalities around here. Would you guys be interested in any of that, do you think, or any specific training that you guys might want to do that we can kind of provide for you?
We don't have enough guys to flag.
No. Anything specific? Yeah. Ditch work, tree trimming, anything like that. I try to get a couple, like half a dozen to 10 townships at this. We'll put it on for you guys.
Do you know Brett Volution or whatever with Northern Tier Planning? He kind of
Okay.
does seminars and with LTAP.
Okay.
So they have classes and things that they already put out.
They put out? Okay. I'll reach out to him.
Like winter maintenance,
Yep.
drone, whatever, traffic controls and things like that.
Okay.
So they already have something like that with
okay.
that the guys are signed up for that
Yeah.
they
offer for you.
They're free
Okay.
classes to go.
Yeah, because I was talking with Lori at Shashequin, and she's at Canton Township too, and she mentioned some flagger training, and so I just
Or
figured,
if you have more than 2 people in the crew, that might help.
yeah, but anyway, that was an example. But anything safety related, we offer. We have videos, we have checklists, anything like that. It's a free service. Just reach out to me with whatever you kind of need or want, and I'll get it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Then the last part is we have a claims team too. So any claims that aren't going well, the insurance company's not offering you coverage or they're denying coverage or anything like that, we have a claims team. It's headed by, I think they got 10 people on their staff now. So if you're ever dealing with a claim that's not going too well, just let me know and we'll get someone else involved other than me. Okay. Then we'll go over to page 7, which is kind of the nuts and bolts of the proposal here. So the first page is for the property coverage. So of course we got, so this would be the office here, this location. We got the salt shed, fuel depot, and of course the new garage. Then we got the gazebo, playground equipment. Then the office would be the office at your house.
Yeah, which is just
contents.
Yeah.
Yep, just the contents. Yep, so all the building values were increased by 4% to try to keep up with the inflation. Then, of course, everything is written on a blanket replacement cost value. So if you add up all those numbers, you have a blanket limit of $1.7 million. So let's say something happens to this building here, and it costs you $900,000 or $1 million to rebuild. We can go up to that blanket limit for you. Deductible stayed the same at 2,500. So really no other changes here other than we increased the building values for you guys. And if you guys have any questions as it's going along, just feel free to stop me, okay? Next is the general liability. Still the same limits, $1 million per claim, $3 million aggregate for the entire year. How the general liability, the premium is based off of it, so that $370,000, so that's based off of certain line items in your budget. That's why we ask for a copy of the budget each year. We got 44 miles of roads, and of course, contractor, subcontractor work, that's an if any basis. So no really changes here to this at all. One thing I like to mention, you'll see in that first table, medical expense, any one person limits $10,000. So what this coverage is used for, the example I always give is I had a township, they were putting up road signs. And the one road crew member knew the homeowner where they were putting a road sign in at. The homeowner came out, they were talking as the road crew guy was working. The road crew guy took a sledgehammer, put the sign in, a piece of the sledgehammer broke off and impaled the homeowner. They called me right away, asking me what to do. I said, go ahead, you'll pay his medical expenses up to $10,000, and hopefully that prevents a bigger lawsuit down the line. And it did. So they paid his medical expenses right up front, up to $10,000 limit, and it prevented a $100,000 lawsuit down the road. So that is a coverage that you guys have if you ever need it. So that goes with, say you have a meeting here in the winter and it's icy outside, someone trips, falls, breaks their arm, say go ahead, you'll pay their medical expense. People see that as an act of good faith, and it prevents a bigger lawsuit down the road. Okay. Next page is your commercial auto. So we have the 4 vehicles here. Do we have to make any changes to the vehicle list or anything like that, Eleanor? No, we got them all.
Right there.
Got them all. Okay. Yep. So still the same $1 million limit for everything. You'll see the comp and collision, they line up with each vehicle. So the trailer's at 500, the Western Star and the Ford are $1,000 each. And the 2024 Western Star, that's $2,000 each. The reason why the Western Star is $2,000 and not $1,000. So EMC, they have a set, if a vehicle's over a certain value, they have a minimum deductible of $2,000. So that's why that one's $2,000 and the other ones are $1,000. One coverage I always like to mention, you'll see at the bottom of that first table, employers non-ownership liability. So what this coverage is used for, so any worker, supervisor, any volunteer that is doing any township business in their own personal vehicle, and they happen to get in an accident, this policy would respond and not your own personal auto. So that's a good coverage that EMC offers. So they'll cover you up to $1 million for liability, and they'll also reimburse you for your personal auto deductible up to $2,500. So EMC does a lot of enhancements to their coverages, and that's one that I like a lot too. Next page is the commercial inland marine, which is your equipment. So we have all the bigger pieces of equipment listed on the schedule, as you'll see there. So graders, snowplows, spreaders, all that stuff's there. Your deductible stayed the same at $500, and your lease rented equipment limit is $150,000. So if you guys have to rent anything from Bradco or you borrow a piece of equipment from a neighboring township, you have a $150,000 limit. So anything over, so if you rent a grader that costs $250,000, $300,000, we suggest adding that onto the schedule for the time that you are renting it, then we'll take it off. But anything under $150,000, you are covered through that.
The snowplows aren't Monroe's though. There's only the one Monroe that's out in the. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I wondered because there's a 10-foot plow up here.
Yep.
Western. And then we got 3 more plows down here.
Right.
So we only got 2 plows, right?
The
No,
Western
the
plow,
10-foot
not
plow
pickup.
goes on the truck,
Yep, on pickup.
So
and that's a Boss, not a Western.
That's a Boss.
Right.
Okay.
And then the 2 other plows are what?
Buyers.
Buyers.
And we still have the one Monroe that
Right.
not attached to anything.
we added the one we just bought, right? Was that added?
Yep, should be, right? There's 2 of them down there, right?
There's 2 of them.
Right, but they're buyers, not Monroe.
Buyers.
Yep.
They're both buyers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we still have the Monroe plow but it's not, we were
Trying to
gonna
sell
sell it.
You're sell, okay. So do we have too many plows
We
then?
have the old Monroe, we used to have a grader.
I think so,
Is that on here?
I don't think that's on there, is it? Two 12-footers and a 10-footer. See, I don't see the grader plow on there. I
Does
would
that
say
stay
these
on the
two
grader?
here are for
They'll
the,
stay on and then we take it off.
You take it off, okay.
So the 2 snow plows would be, changed to buyers instead of the Monroes.
I'm gonna use that when we have a lot of snow.
right,
Hopefully we never use it again.
Okay. So we have 4 plows then. We got a Boss, 2 buyers, and a Snow Dog. Does that sound right?
The snow dog is the same thing
Snow Dog
as the Boss.
is the Boss, okay.
So each of the Western Star has buyers.
Okay,
So, and then the Boss goes on the truck with the cinder spreader.
okay.
And then there's the Monroe plow that was on,
there's a Monroe for the grader, and then a Monroe that just return itself.
okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't have enough plows on there.
We didn't want.
Didn't have enough plows on
Should
there
have one
then.
more plow.
Should have one more plow.
Yeah,
Cause the grader
Two-
was
well-
not on there.
no, 2 more. The one that we're trying to sell, which we don't have to put back on since we're trying to sell, and then the one on the grader.
Right.
And that's a Monroe.
Okay.
I guess I thought that's the Monroe that was trying to sell, the same one on the
What's this one
grader.
go on?
What's that
The
one?
snow dog.
That's the pickup one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's okay, so
Oh, so,
10-foot,
this has a 10-foot plow up here.
cause that's definitely a pickup.
The Western goes on pickup.
Yep.
Okay, so then what's this one go on?
What's that say, 11-footer?
It doesn't say, that's just a number item.
And-
Oh, okay.
It's a serial
that's
number.
a snow dog, so that's the, isn't that the Boss snow dog that goes on the truck?
No, I think the buyers are the two that we had in Western Star, aren't they buyer snow dogs? I think so. I'd have to go and look for sure. I think,
So we did have enough.
I think the
Just
two,
wrong
We got 4
names.
plows on there.
right, so they're all on there.
Just gotta rename them.
I'll have to make 100% sure, I tell you, but I think the buyer, the snow dogs, the Monroe, there's only one on the grader. So I'm not, I think the names are just kind of messed around on there, as to what we have.
How about when I come to deliver your auto IDs, I meet with you and you can show me everything?
Okay,
And that way I have the right names and
That's
everything.
what I do.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, okay, yep, we'll do that. All right, page 11, public officials liability. This covers supervisors for any decisions that you guys would make. Same coverages, and I'm pretty sure premiums stay exactly the same on this one too. Yep. 1 million per claim, 2 million aggregate for the year. Your deductible is $2,500, just like the property. Then public officials non-monetary defense, you'll see that right in the middle there. So this coverage, we're seeing a little bit more use out of it. So non-monetary defense claim would be, say there's an old dilapidated building in the township. You guys buy that building and decide to tear it down. Then you might have some residents saying you can't tear down that building, it's historical. It's been here for 100 years, so they sue you just to reverse a decision that you make. So they're not looking for any monetary benefits. So with EMC, you have a full policy limit of $1 million, where some of these other carriers, Selective, McKee, Travelers, they only offer about a $10,000 limit for that. And so $10,000 can be eaten up pretty quickly in court fees, lawyer fees, stuff like that. So EMC does a good job of providing you coverage there. We're seeing more of that that claim or that coverage being used. The house example is the best example, but we're dealing with a claim now. I think it's up to like $650,000, and it's all over permit fees. There was a developer that said the permit fees that a township was giving out was unconstitutional, so they sued him for it, and it's paying a lot of money out for that claim, just for court fees and lawyer fees.
Is that the Institute of Justice case?
No. Okay. Nope. Nope. That case is case that I mentioned, it's down in Lower Allen Township near Harrisburg. Yep. Yep.
You know that house we condemned that summer? That's all falling down.
Yeah, Jasper, we all went down and looked at it, remember?
Yep.
I can't remember what the guy said he's gonna do to
We're
it.
gonna fix it up
Yeah,
and live in it.
that was 25 years ago, wasn't it?
That's at least that. Not longer.
Wasn't long after I started.
Where's that at?
Right there, as you come up out of Grover on your right, his house.
Okay.
Nobody's lived in it in years.
No.
Well, the first two coming out of the Grover needs to.
Well, probably the second one isn't bad either. Didn't good either.
All right, page 12 is your commercial excess or your umbrella coverage. So you have a $3 million umbrella that goes over top of your general liability, your auto, employer's liability, which is part B of your workers' comp, employee benefits liability, which is under the GL, and your public officials liability. So it takes that $1 million per claim limit for all those coverages and bumps it up to 4 for you. Yep, so you got plenty of limits there for you guys to cover anything here. Workers' comp is on the next page. So we have city, town, borough. So that's the public works guys. We have payroll at 130,000 there, and we have clerical at 15,600. Those payrolls look pretty good for you, Eleanor. Match up. Okay. Yep. Then your experience mod, which is right above that, you see 0.848. So that hasn't changed from last year, and the reason why it hasn't changed because it can't get any lower for you. So you guys are doing a good job keeping people safe, and it's that. So how they calculate the final premium for the workers' comp, they'll take your payroll times the rate, and it gives a premium, and it takes that premium times that 0.848, and that gives you your final premium. So you guys are saving 16% on your workers' comp by keeping claims off of your workers' comp. Next 2 pages deal with some crime and cyber coverage. So you'll see crime coverage here, $50,000 for employee theft, $25,000 for any theft or robbery inside and outside the premises. Your deductible is still at $500. And of course, Eleanor, since you are bonded, you are excluded from this coverage because your bond will pick that up. Then the next page is your cyber. So this is a coverage that I actually shopped out this year. So you'll see these limits in here. This is all EMC information here, so still the same limits for you through EMC. The deductible stayed at $1,000. Then if we go to the next page, which is the premium summary, you'll notice the 2 tables down below. I quoted cyber with a company called Cowbell, and they offer strictly cyber coverage. And you'll notice that the premium for them is a little bit lower than what EMC is. And actually, this Cowbell coverages are actually more broad, so it gives you some more coverage there too. So if we stay at the $50,000 limit for you, Cowbell's coming at $288. 100,000, we're at $452. And through EMC, the renewal for the cyber came into $571. So we have a couple different options for you. So bear with me as I explain everything. So that top table, you'll see your expiring premium with EMC and AmTrust, who's your workers' comp provider. We're at $28,173. The renewal with the same carriers came to $29,999. Then I quoted, I wanted to quote the work comp with EMC that came to see what they came out to, but they're more expensive than AmTrust. So probably not gonna switch over to them. But you'll notice down in that second small table, if we switch the cyber over to Cowbell, kept the coverage or the limit for your cyber at $50K, we're at $29,716, and if we bump it up to $100K, we're at $29,880. But you guys can keep everything the way exactly how it is now, but I just want to provide you with some options. Any questions for me?
So if somebody hacks us, we're covered.
Yes. Yep. Yep, and I suggest keeping that cyber coverage because actually on Friday I got a call from a township. They've declined cyber coverage the last 3 years from us, and they wired $130,000 for a new truck to a fake account, and they lost all that money. They don't have any coverage for that. That money's just gone. So cyber coverage is a good thing to have. even for small townships like this.
I think we give us checks still.
Yep. They were buying a new truck from a company called Allegheny Truck. Allegheny Truck sent an email like a week before that they were going to deliver the truck. They said, we're going to deliver it. You can either wire us or you can drop a check off when we deliver it. And somehow that Allegheny Truck Company, they had the cyber attack. Someone hacked their email. They sent another email to the township, said, nope, we can only accept wire money and you have to wire it to this account. And that was a whole fake email and everything. It all looked legitimate. But yeah, you think the red lights and sirens would have went off when the first option to wire money to was in a bank in Altoona, which is where this municipality was, and that second bank account where they said they had to wire it was in Houston, Texas. You think some red lights would have went off, but they still wired it. Yep. So that $130,000, that's probably being spent in Mexico or something right now, I would assume.
What did you say about with me being bonded, the cyber coverage and?
For the crime coverage.
Okay.
Yep, so the way the crime policy reads, it says anyone who's legally obligated to be bonded is excluded from the employee theft coverage
Okay.
in the crime, because your bond would pick up for that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Any questions for me? Any thoughts?
Where's the total premium?
So total premium, if we keep everything the same, is at $29,999.
What was it last year?
$28,173.
So 29,913.
$29,999.
Oh, I see that.
Yep.
Just like when you buy anything else, $9.99.
Yep.
So roughly $1,800.
Yep, roughly $1,800. And you guys got a dividend check here this year from EMC too, and I think that was $2,400. I think you got that,
so.
something like that.
Okay.
So if we renew with $100,000 with Cowbell for the cyber coverage,
Mm-hmm.
then it would go down to $29,880, right?
$29,880, yes. And if you want to keep the same $50,000 limit, we're at $29,716.
So it's cheaper if you get more.
Mm-hmm. And it's broader coverage. It offers more coverage through the Cowbell. Because they're strictly cyber insurance, so that's something that they're really good at. Where EMC, the biggest part with EMC, you'll notice, so like that wire fraud that I just talked about, EMC only offers a $10,000 limit for misdirected payment fraud, where the Cowbell will be whatever the policy limit is. So if you go with the $50,000, you'll have $50,000 worth of coverage for that.
That kind of makes more sense.
Yeah,
It's also a little bit
a
cheaper.
little bit cheaper. Yep.
How long have they been in business?
Cowbell?
Yeah.
So we've been working with them for the last 5 years. So it happened actually 6 years, happened right before COVID and everything happened. So we started with them in 2019.
Okay.
Yep.
Which one do you want? Which one do you think's better?
Well, the renewal with the $100,000 coverage with the cyber being with Cowbell, and then that would be $29,880.
So it'd be,
So
might as well get more coverage in, right?
More
Yeah.
coverage for cheaper, going with
Less
Cowbell.
premium.
Yep.
I'll make the motion to accept that premium there.
I'll
29,880.
29,880.
Second.
And I agree with that.
Okay. And just for how it works with Cowbell, Eleanor, so what we usually do for smaller townships like this, so we'll pay the premium for that for you, because it's got to be all online payments, so we'll pay it and we'll just invoice you if
Okay.
you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't like to do the online payments because townships want to do physical checks,
Right.
and so we'll just do that for you.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll pay that and we'll just invoice you.
Yeah, we have some online payments now,
Okay.
like for insurance and, like a couple options for that way.
Yeah.
But if you wanna go and invoice us, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Because they actually, if you pay with credit card, they charge you whatever, the 4%, 5% fee on top of that. So
Their banking fees plus
yeah.
whatever.
So they have our account information, so we'll just pay it and we'll invoice. Yep. Then once I have auto IDs, I'll get in. Can I get your number and I'll give you a call?
Yep.
So I'll give you a call when I deliver the auto IDs and we'll go through the plows and all that stuff. Just make sure we have everything all set. Okay. Any other questions for me?
No,
I don't think so.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
no, thanks.
You're welcome. Yep, then kind of just so you guys know, so next year, what I plan on doing with you guys is, so every 3 to 4 years, we'll shop out everything for you,
Okay.
your whole package and your workers' comp, every 3 to 4 years, we like to do it because it keeps the marketplace competitive. So that's probably what we'll plan on doing next year if you guys are up for that.
Sure.
So, yeah, because we notice, if we don't do that, you'll notice, you'll see the premium goes up a little bit each year, but then those companies get a little complacent, and so that's why we have to remarket.
Our farm insurance went up, oh God, $2,000 one year.
Yeah.
And I told, who was the guy that we used to come around?
David?
Yeah.
Yep.
I sat there and I said, I'm not paying it.
Yeah.
So I just forget, I don't want any insurance. So he called the company and they lowered it.
Yeah.
Down, it was only $300 a year more. I had no claims. If I'd had a claim, it'd been one thing.
Yeah, it can be understandable.
They lowered it.
Yep.
So I guess I had, and then I thought, well, I guess I'll keep my insurance.
Yep.
For treasurer bonds.
Yep.
You guys do that
We
too?
do. Who is yours through?
Selective.
That's the best market for it. Yep, because I just moved a bond today. It was with Liberty Mutual. I think their bonding limit was, I forget, I think it's like $500,000. They were paying like $1,800 with Liberty. We moved it to Selective and they're paying $1,000 now.
Well, I'm on for $1 million and then they, premium $750.
Okay, yeah, so.
So, and it's been like that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
those-
that's been, changed
Yeah, those bond,
quite a
yeah,
while.
yeah, Selectives, that's where we have probably 99% of our bonds are through Selective. Yep, so you're in a good spot there.
Okay.
Okay?
It just goes to Gannon because who issued it,
Yeah.
well, MC Insurance, that's
Yeah.
who issued it to begin with,
Yeah,
so.
so I mean, we can take it over if you just want to deal with one carrier, but it
It doesn't really matter.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
If
matter.
it's the same,
It's gonna be the same no matter
Thing.
what. Yep, so you can keep that with Cannons and
we'll
Selective.
just keep it where it is.
Yep, yeah, because I don't like to cancel and rewrite bonds too often, because I've had it where we've done that and there's a lapse in coverage for some reason with the carrier, so I'd just like to keep it where it is, if you're okay with that. Okay. Very good, okay.
You can't offer me anything better than.
Nope, Selective's the best spot for you. That is the best spot.
We'll keep it there.
Okay, all right, thank you guys. Stay dry, hopefully you don't have to take a boat back home or anything.
Well, I was in Monroe to a Little League game and it wasn't nowhere near as wet down there. And
No.
by the time I get back to Leroy, it's pouring.
Yep. Yeah, we had a T-ball game tonight with my boy, and our game started at 5, and it just rained a little bit. And even when I came back through Wyalusing, the teams that were playing after us, they were still playing. But as soon as I hit, like he said, Leroy out here, it started pouring. So, yep. But it's that time of year, right? Don't know what the
And I was
weather's
worried it was
gonna
gonna be a dry year.
do.
Now it's dry.
All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring up Bragg Road. Can you fix in front of Katana's there? Like have you been up there in the last couple of weeks?
You're in there every day pretty well.
The big divot right by their driveway there?
It's-
Can you,
It needs it, but we gotta wait till we get the material taught in here so we can get the oil mixed with it so we can put it on. I know it needs it, we drive it every day, but there's no sense putting cold patch or gravel or anything on it, 'cause it's just not gonna stay.
okay.
We need to wait till, we're gonna talk tonight about if we can get Seacrest and start hauling the stuff from TNT in, then we get that hauled in, and then once we get it made, then we can fix that up to there. But until then,
Okay.
we're just gonna have to
Really?
deal with it. There's not a whole lot we can do.
You would still have to fix the driveway before you fix down
Really?
that end, right?
Yep.
And the ditch just, going towards my way past their driveway,
Yep.
can you scrape that or anything? We dug it out with a hoe a couple of times, but
It needs to be
somebody
clean.
backed in there with a truck
Right.
and diverted the water, and now it's just going down the road. And
We've been cleaning
Blazers.
ditches for the last months. We just haven't got that far yet, but it needs to be cleaned. There's no sense of doing it halfway. Do it right when we do it the first time and be done with it, but we just haven't got that far yet.
How can you do anything now? It's too wet.
Yeah, now we're kinda screwed without anything for a couple of days.
You wanted to sweep roads.
We did that already.
Just keep
Yeah, at least we
sweeping.
got that done when we went for the day.
Yeah, but 2 of them were residents of Circle to Death who waited to sweep it.
I'm sure, cause the first time I tried, I went up nuts. and
I called and complained, that's why I called him to see what happened.
Yep. No, they should have been realized it. And it's so dusty, we can't see where we're going. They went.
Yeah, but our road was dusty some when he went by.
Yep,
But it rained the night before and it just dried up.
just that quick. I don't know what else.
Martin Frank disappointing to get the bid.
No, he never said a word to me.
Just wondered.
He said it before, he said it didn't really matter to him. So, that's what he said, and he's been fine.
He was decent to me about it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said,
not a big deal, just a good guy, you know.
and
So,
he said it wouldn't upset his wife any if he didn't get the bid. I guess she does paperwork, so.
yep,
Okay.
and hope he's happy.
He'll be there if we need him.
Do you have anything else, Walter?
No, that was it. Thank you.
So Michelle gave me a big whopping check from GH Harris for $5.50.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
No
Could've
spending
had
all
hard
in
to
one
bring you down
place.
here.
For taxes that were to be paid in 2009. Not sure what the penalty on that was, but we did not get that. And then real estate for April is $134,071.81.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You like those numbers?
Yeah, you won't have any more like that this year.
Anything
Big
we're
percentage
done?
of people stay, do they, or more than normal, or,
No, about the same.
you know?
So Enterprise, or QuickBooks Enterprise renewed, it was $1,768. So that already went through on the 30th. And then, agreement to sign, so the new CD can be on internet banking, through First Citizen. So if you,
Me, just keep cleaning ditches and fixing the excavator, and we could work on that again. They was here Wednesday, so we worked on it today. I want to make sure it was okay that we start hauling the stuff from TMT and the stones up so that gets here. Look, there was something else there. There's fuel tank for the pickup. The slip tank in the back is rusted out and thinner than thin. It keeps cracking all the time.
With the depth tank?
No, the fuel tank in the back, and you take fuel to the.
Oh, that one in the back, okay.
They're like $700 or $800 to buy one at Napa, it's not very good quality. They don't last very long at all. They're too thin, they won't take me a beat like that. I talked to Watson, it's like $600 or $700 for material to build one. They wanted like $3,500 more to weld it, which I think is ridiculous. But I would take one home and weld it myself out of the same material for like $1,000. That's twice as much money as what the one at Napa would cost, but it's gonna be a whole lot
Thicker.
stronger,
Is it gonna be thicker?
a lot thicker, it'd be twice as thick. I'll
And you
put
do it
that
on your
in
own
for-
time at home?
I would do it at my time at home, yep. At night, but that's up to you. If you want me to have Watson do it, that's fine, but I think that's a lot of money to weld a fuel tank.
It is.
A lot of money. I mean, I like to have them do some of that stuff, but that's a little much. It is, but we gotta do something, we can't, I welded it a bunch of times, and then I was doing other stuff, I took to Scott, and he welded it the last time, and he said, I don't even know I'm wasting my time. But it's not leaking right now, we only put, depends, if we're taking fuel to the grader, I'll put 50 gallons in. If we're taking fuel to something else, I only put 20 or 30 gallons in it
It's
because.
what you need in case it starts
Right.
springing a big leak.
Right, exactly, so if it's not leaking, it's not running all over the place. I mean, we can get by with it, but it's a pain in the butt to get fuel in it every time you wanna go put fuel.
Yeah, and your printer needs something heavy duty to put in the back of that truck because
Right.
you dump
Dirt on it.
dirt and everything else in it.
Yeah, it gets used hard and mauled and beat, there ain't no, it isn't like we put it in, go put fuel and come back to take it out.
How many gallons does it hold?
Just about 100. It depends, anywhere between 80 and 100 you can get
Where
in
you
it.
get that from?
I don't remember.
Was it Lloyd?
Lloyd,
Herman?
have we had it that long?
I don't know.
I don't remember having to purchase one.
No, I don't either.
Okay, so I think we remember where you got it from. He had it.
It was probably heavy duty then. He had it.
It's a rugged one, it's way bigger, it's as rugged as what I wanna build now. I mean, this 1/4 inch wall with a big plate welded on the top of it to lift it, so it does, when you pick it up, it doesn't suck the sides in and make it crack. Yeah, whoever made that one made it, it didn't come from Napa, I'm sure of that.
What about baffles? Does it need baffles?
It
in
needs baffles in it, for simple reason, so when you pick it up and it's full, the baffles will keep it from sucking in the sides and cracking stuff when you're lifting it. The baffles will keep it all square together. So it needs to have baffles.
How many gallons of hold?
Between 80 and 100, somewhere in that area.
But you need,
It'd be nice to have that, yes. I mean, we don't actually have to need it, but it's
Well-
nice to have enough fuel for more than one day with you.
The only issue is if we don't have to do it, if somebody do it, and it starts leaking next week, then we gotta
It goes, but it's a
decide
pain,
what we're gonna do, and then we gotta wait till next month.
right?
And that could cost us more, the fuel leaking out of it. Of course, if you don't put a lot in it.
Right, and we don't, just because I'm afraid it's gonna leak and then we'll have to be even more mess. Have fuel run out back pickup.
Yeah.
So we just put.
Make the motion, get the material.
Just call and, that material's coming from Parker's because Nyra won't deliver it to my house no more because I don't buy enough. But it'll be, so we'll just get it at Parker's and they mark it up 10% of what it costs them.
So you want us to pay for the materials and give
Yeah.
6,000 to make it?
build it.
It'll take, there'll be a lot of welding. They won't be 4 days welding, like what, but there's a lot of welding, weld it inside and out, weld all the baffles and stuff in.
Use a stick or might MIG?
Let me wire welder. The inside I'll probably TIG. The outside will wire weld, but the inside I'll probably TIG. That's all easier and closer corners.
What about paint? Does it have to be painted or?
It won't stay on
Okay, no.
it. The steel is actually called pickled steel is what they use. It's already been scaled so it doesn't, once you weld it, it doesn't scale up where it's welded. When we talked to them about getting the price and stuff, I told them I want pickled steel so that it doesn't, it still will rust, but not like regular flat rolled steel though. You can paint it, but the way we use it's not gonna stay on long. But I will paint it if you want me to, it's not a big deal. But first goonie that drops on it's gonna be gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anybody second it?
Well, I made a motion.
I'll second it.
And I'll agree with that, because we need it.
We'll get started on that then. I guess that's all I have, that was my biggest thing, if we can get the gravel coming and get a fuel tank fixed.
Okay. So, Larry Four did.
Yeah, I just read that.
Well, that's not why that's not why that block wall was put on there. That's not right. The block wall was put on there because they ordered the steel wrong for the building.
In order the building high enough.
No. That's another thing. I was talking with Brett today, we better make a decision here this month or next month on what we wanna do for a heating system back out there, so we can get on the list and get it in before winter comes, or next thing you know, it's gonna be cold, and if we have a brutal winter next winter, why, we're in trouble.
Well, cause I sent, Larry the whole thing that, Adma mocked up or gave us. And that's when he said that he sent everything to whoever they got the system off from. And that's what they said on the 22nd, that, the review of their records and discussions with the engineers that worked on the project, that they put everything in the way that they were supposed to, because that's what the formulation or whatever. Not sure how they get something different than the HVAC people, but. Apparently they came back in 2024, reset the thermostat and checked the system.
Who did?
So as a test,
Yeah,
When schools come back.
Yeah, they would.
they just said a contractor reset the thermostat. But they do agree with that if it's a desire to have quick temperature recovery due to opening and closing overhead doors or cold trucks with cold blows, the best approach would be to add unit heaters. The sizing of the unit heater would be to be determined based on the owner's preferences for recovery of an internal temperature.
what was it, Adams?
I can't remember what.
20-something.
19 something.
We had the quote in here.
That was for 2, right? 2 heaters?
We should have a couple, this and somewhere else.
Some different what?
We have to,
To install 2
the
heaters.
threshold's 20-some thousand without bidding.
Oh, okay.
We need 3 bids, there's 1.
So to install 2 heaters and everything, they quoted $19,254. But that could be up a little bit because
Yeah.
not sure of what the add-on to the cost to the units are.
And how many BTUs did it say?
250,000 BTU each.
Each. Well, that should be big enough.
And you,
And the boiler, they said was big enough to run that much more,
yes.
so that's what they told us.
The boiler's another 400,000.
I'm sorry?
The boiler's another 400,000.
No, our boiler works, we don't have to have
No,
a
the
boiler.
boiler-
No, BTU value.
Oh, BTO?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were saying.
I'm not
No,
sure.
for each of the heaters, it's 250,000 BTUs, but
Well, Williams Oil bid on it.
And that's who put my heater in my garage. See, when I put that in, they tried to get me to put in a high efficiency house furnace, run ductwork out around, so it was more even on it. I wish I would have done that because that heater, I don't know if it's where the thermostat is or what, but it gets so hot in there, and then you turn it down, next thing you know, you're cold. But it's a hanging heater. It works, I mean, I just had to have it repaired done. Admas came and put a new motor in it that starts the flame or whatever, because that was going bad.
Mhm.
It was right around Christmas time. It wasn't cheap,
No, nothing's cheap.
no.
so we still need the block insulated, right?
We should spray foam around the edge of the block.
That would help a lot.
That's something that we can do.
What was that?
That's something that we can do.
We
Probably
don't
not.
We don't really have the equipment to do it.
Who does? Somebody I was talking to.
Nick Petrowski and
Petrowski.
Nick and
They
Chris
doing
have a
that?
spray foam trailer. I think they're still doing it.
They started that when they, spray foamed was that company came in and spray foamed the
Yeah, we did
garage.
Bob's garage there, and after that,
They decided that was a good side hustle.
they said that they if that was a high price for it, they could have done it for less, but they weren't doing the thing.
Right.
And the insurance paid for it, and actually, it was a good deal for everybody, because Bob got his garage insulated, and it saved us a lot of money.
For the interim.
Yeah.
Cause he didn't charge us any rent except for that.
But it's electric bill, wasn't
Yep,
That and,
it? Heat.
the gas.
no, cause whatever was in there was part of the electric. That was the agreement that we would insulate it and pay the electric bill while they were up there.
Oh, Bob.
Well, I'll give Williams a call, see if they want to bid.
Says boiler BTU is 285,000 input, 264,000 output.
Give me a copy of that and I'll take it and I'll call,
Okay.
use that for the specs.
So you want that and what Adma's already asking, or you want that too?
I think the guy that you wanna talk to is Terry Taylor.
Terry Taylor?
Terry,
Terry Taylor.
that's who did all my stuff. Yeah, he has a real raspy voice.
Right,
So
And
do you
who
want a
was it?
copy of this too?
Yeah. Who else did I talk to? What other company?
Did
Flynn?
it before we're done.
I don't know if they do that, do they? They just sell propane and fuel, don't they?
I don't know if they install equipment or not.
Don't know.
So you're going to Williams?
I'll call Williams and ask if he
yeah.
wants
What
to.
about the guy up there and really, oh,
And did you call,
Boyer?
DeCristo
that
already?
don't sound right.
Did you
They're
talk?
big
to
in
DeCristo
solar
already?
now.
Oh, Solar Energy?
Oh, they
Yeah.
still have a section?
Used to be what Marvin Groff is.
Marvin
not
Groff's
no more.
boy worked there.
Oh,
Is that
that's
what it
S&B
I don't know if they do
mechanical.
stuff.
Oh,
sold
yeah,
it.
They're
that's
big
the
solar
mechanical,
now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, S&B. They would be, I would
Yeah.
get a hold of them.
Okay.
Marvin Groff, I just talked to, young Theron Binford's daughter lives up there in part of their house, and she helped take care of him. He's 94. And that day I talked to her, he mowed the yard and was planting some of his garden. She's not good. She had a stroke.
That's what I heard she going. He's taking care of her now. It was the other way around.
And schoonovers too? Or,
I suppose.
It wouldn't hurt to get all the bids we can get. We can get more than 3, right?
Yeah, no, we need 3 total.
But we can get more than that, right?
Oh, yeah.
okay, so call and get information and I'll get you those before. Get you those copies. So Keo, sent me the information for the proposal, to do the packet, all at what we're doing. So it would be for Graham, Bragg, White, and Dauber Lane. 7,000 feet for Graham, 6,300 for Bragg, 1050 for White, and 1375 for Dauber, with 20 wide for Graham and Dauber, 19 wide for Bragg, and 18 for White. And then included Cemetery Sister and Owl Mountain.
They're gonna have their own.
Well, we'll have the agreement to advertise for them, and then they would each be
Oh.
billed.
Yeah,
So when's their meeting?
next week.
Okay.
I got the paper he gave me. Yes, I'll give it to him.
Okay, well, I will send them, because Kehoe, since they're close enough, sent where the agreement is that we would advertise and accept the bids for them, for whoever, and then everybody would be billed separately. If they want to do that, then they can sign it and submit
Alright.
it. If not, then they can advertise and go their own.
Okay.
So, I can send that information to them,
Oh,
and if they want to do it, go ahead.
how much we want to build Alabama for winter maintenance? We haven't done it for a while.
It's been a minute.
I don't know.
500?
One, you know.
500?
Yeah, whatever, it is. I don't know.
Just whatever.
There's not much there to do anyways, is there?
No, it's a more of a.
Probably didn't use that much cinders.
No.
Fuel, only
No,
400.
because it takes me longer to get turned around on the end of each of the streets than it does to actually do, 30 seconds to go down the street and 2 minutes to turn around on Sister Street, and depending on how much traffic's on the other end of the
So
cemetery.
you don't know how long it's been since we built them,
No.
so 500 is probably pretty cheap, I would say.
Probably.
You give them,
It's been, forget it. It's the part of their thing that they do.
Forget it, you say?
Well, I forget
Oh, you forget.
to actually do it.
Yeah. Get it done.
I would agree with you, 500.
You guys have that
bucks, it'd be
agreement in
done.
place.
if it hasn't been done in a while, I'd say bill them $500.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, right down the address, 39 Windfall Road, is that Attleboro? That's King,
Who is their secretary?
Tricia Jackson.
Okay.
Is Dale still the mayor or whatever up there? I haven't seen him outside much. Is he getting around good?
I guess he
He
did.
can't hear nothing.
He have it on a cold clear things put in for
Oh,
hearing. It improved it, but he still can't hear very good.
I see.
Well, I called him for something a couple years ago. And one day I heard somebody knocking on the door. He never called me back. And he come to the door, and I went to the door, and he said, I knew it was you, he says, but I can't hear nothing. I can't hear what, he just couldn't hear, it says. And so I told him, what I wanted. He goes, what was it now? It's like, I don't want to scream at him, but can't help it, he can't hear. I wanted a window fixed or something, I think, for the barn.
I seen him back in the fall to CarQuest one time. I was yelling pretty loud in there the game, did.
He was my dad's first hired man when he bought the farm in
Are you serious?
1965, yep.
Okay. So, the piping, you have 18-inch by 20 feet, right?
Yep.
And Bradco's price is $444.20. Fry's is $374, Shamong is $375. And you're willing to let us purchase them for $350?
And I got 4 connectors you can have.
Let's throw the connectors in for free.
Cause they won't do me any good without the pipe, and I don't need the pipe, so.
Ain't much good without it, is it?
No.
You gonna use a tractor for the disc or not?
Yeah, we do. Either the disc or the stone rig, one of the two.
I'd surprise you put the disc on it,
Feel good.
because that disc is a lot heavier than that rake.
Right. Yep, if that's fine, Kim and I just talked about that, I was gonna call you and see if we could do that, because if the grass is high enough, then we need the disc and the rake, and it's paint on the both back and forth. So whichever you'd rather put on it. is what I'll put
But you
on.
guys can buy it if you want. I'm not gonna be an operator.
Well, we did talk about it a couple times.
Pepper's having an auction next week on Wednesday. All heavy, big equipment.
Down there?
Mm-hmm.
Are you're not taking it down there at all?
No, not if you want it, no.
What do you think it's worth? I don't know, what do you want?
I talked to Bill about when I had it in, over the Beaches. He said it. And went 10.5 to 12.5. The new motor.
Runs good.
It works really good.
After that motor, after we
It's
figured
got no
out.
clutch too, no clutch, and now the
The other says
transmission's fixed.
transmission's fixed.
It's good.
I can't hate to say it, but it's blue.
Me too. I'm not
It's
gonna
not
say it,
green,
but I said it already.
But it's kind of a handy little
Yes,
tractor.
it is.
It's not real big and long in the front, and to mow
Yes, it
with,
is.
it's good to mow with because you can open both doors and you're out of the sun and you got a breeze. It was,
It shifts good, it steers good, the brakes work, everything got there. Like I said, I hate saying it because it's the wrong color, but it's a nice tractor.
We can do what? Our grandfather painted his farm all in green.
yeah, Dinkenberger still has
Still
it.
have it, yep. Yep, they still have it.
Dad wanted it really bad at the sale. And Dinkenberger just kept bidding and bidding and bidding. He thought, man, he couldn't beat Grandpa out of that kind of money, so he quit bidding.
Yep.
It was like 3 times what it was worth.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had he had all kinds of trouble with it.
Yeah.
Wonder why, well, he says he took it to, was it Warner's? Somebody, I can't remember who painted it. He took it over.
Illinois painted it.
He took it somewhere to get some work done on it, and they said, they were joking, and they wanted to know if he wanted it painted. And Grandpa goes, yeah, he said, paint it green if you want. So, come home with a John Deere green at Farm OM.
Okay, what else we gotta do here?
So do we want the piping for, do we have any? We don't have any, do we? Or we have a couple?
We have some that's fair price, I think we should buy it, we ain't gonna get it cheaper. And be done with it.
How many pieces you got?
5.
So I guess I will make the motion to purchase it. Do you want to second that?
I will.
Okay. And then the tractor purchase on the next agenda. Because you're not gonna sell it out before that, right?
Yeah.
One question. If we wait till the next thing, can we be okay to come and get the tractor
Yeah.
so we get going and then do that? If it's raining, we can't do much else, we'll get it down and get it hooked up and get it ready to go.
Does he sell the lease agreement with us?
I can't remember how many hours, I just changed oil, but I don't know if it needs that oil change.
No.
It's good.
You shouldn't, because I had 50 hours, had to have it changed at 50 hours when it took
We did that.
Beaches. And you did that after I quit mowing,
Right.
and you didn't use it much after that, did you?
I can't remember how many hours we put on after I changed, I'd have to look, I don't have a,
You rode around the filter.
right, it's road on it, so. We can tell, but hopefully it don't need any, if it don't need oil change, just grease it a little bit and it's ready to go.
The spinning is on the clutch pedal up underneath the dash a little bit there.
Yep.
And then linkage.
Just one up in there, is
I
there?
think so.
I think so too,
What's the status on beach flats? What, are they done?
I think they're done, I think.
yep. Haven't seen any water trucks over this week. They was hauling a few loads out of Portsville to it still. The guy told us, I don't remember what that was, Wednesday or Thursday, we seen him one morning. But, and then there were just a couple scraggly trucks back and forth here, but I think it's all full now. So until they,
Did you email somebody or?
Mm-hmm. I emailed that Chris Hughes and said you had until Friday to either have them stop, and if it didn't stop by Friday, then it was going to cease.
they stopped them the next
They
morning.
stopped them the next morning.
Yep.
And the funny thing is I don't know how many trucks would have coming down Lake Hill, and not one of them was using the Jake brake coming down Lake Hill. And don't you think that would be in the hill to use them up?
Well, yeah, Chris had questioned me about how much extra fuel it was taking him, and one thing we need to look at, we had one complaint on that whole road. And there's how many people live on that road.
We had one person show up.
And
To the
it's
meeting,
like how
not
many other
necessarily-
people were complaining, is before we make a decision like that, we ought to talk to other people, probably. I'm not saying it wasn't bothering her, I'm sure it was. And they shouldn't, and they agreed that they shouldn't be using, the Jake breaks and they shouldn't be using straight pipes. Straight pipes are bad. Chris said he took them off all his trucks. Said if you're out going down cross country or something, it's one thing, but if you're running around a bunch of houses, he said you can't have that. That's what gets people stirred up.
And Chris is willing to meet with us to go over the agreement and to amend it if we need to,
Right.
before they start up again.
Oh, who knows when they'll start up again?
Right.
Might not be for a while.
Right.
Well, he even said when they had the meeting, he said, don't be using straight pipes. Because he said he could hear them clear up to his place. And we did it anyway, so.
So I messed up. It happens.
I do it every day.
What's new? Won't be doing anything in the field for a while.
The vision part of the health insurance is for dependents until they're 19.
Okay.
So it does not include,
It doesn't include me or Melinda.
or Cam, or Jill, or me.
No, we're
Because
good.
nobody's a dependent up until 19. So, since I relayed the wrong information, and then we took the $250 up that we would reimburse for vision or whatever,
Want to put it back?
want to put that. Because you guys haven't gone for vision exams yet, right?
No.
Okay.
I talk about it every day, but I haven't done it
You
yet.
can still see, can't you?
I'm not gonna get to that question, I drive your stuff.
That's just, I had to take Perry down to Island, and I'm like, here is this part, and they're like, no. So then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, that's not right. So I emailed Beth, the lady that came and talked to us, and she's like, no, that's to dependents until 19, so that's wrong.
So they're gonna change it around so it will cover us then, or what are they gonna
No.
do?
Well, not this year. I'm sure that if we want to add that for the premium for something next year, then I'm sure that they can find a policy for that.
So what we did before was we give everybody up to $250
Up until $250.
a year.
Just you and Cam, not the
Right.
family or anything.
Right.
It was just you and Cam, for eye exam, glasses, whatever. That if you needed, then we would give you up to $250.
How much does it cost for pair of glasses?
It'll be
Depends on what you get.
You
Wait,
go
yeah.
out
Walmart eye
Go to
exam.
dollar
That's probably good enough, like $4 at the dollar store.
Usually, if you go to Walmart for an eye exam, it's separate from the vision center because the doctor gets paid themselves. It's like $95 for the eye exam, and then whatever you pick out for frames and is through the vision center would be different.
If you buy them online, they're a lot cheaper.
Right, but you have to get your eyes examined to figure out
Yeah,
what you're
right,
gonna
I'm
buy.
just saying.
Had to have a prescription.
Yeah, Tina had that thing on her phone. Her dad wanted a new pair of glasses, so you can put a picture of yourself on there and put these different frames on and see what you look like.
Yeah, that's if you
No.
already have the prescription.
Yeah, he had to get his
Yeah.
eyes checked down here.
It's
Dr. Rook is where he went.
So
I don't know.
I'm going to make a
Where do you get
motion to put
yours?
that back.
Dr. Rook. I don't know. I'm getting new ones this year. I've had these for, I don't know, 2 years. I didn't even change last year, so I didn't. Usually every 2 years I get new glasses. These here, this thing here, this rubber thing fell off, and so I went down there and they put these great big things on. These you got to spread your glasses all the way like this, put them on, and your ears hang out. So I took them off. So I don't need that.
I'm gonna second putting the 250 back. I made the motion.
I'll second it.
And is that it?
That's the end, you got the correspondence. It's the stuff for our own use, huh?
Yeah, there's not anything, I mean, we got the membership number or date for the town or PSAT's plaque that's somewhere. There's nothing in Canton Township for tax sale. There's nothing for planned seal coating in our area.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Who'd you talk to that said they weren't gonna do any tarring and chipping this year?
I don't, they didn't say they were gonna touch it, we're doing the agility.
Who was it?
Oh, George Redenbecker and Ryan,
From Towanda?
yeah.
Okay. So we don't have to mow this year then?
Oh, yeah, I've got them all. Not next year, unless we write a new work
Well,
order.
this is our last year for the agility. And it's-
Now, we got 2 more years to go on. We have to write a new work order.
Cause they extended it out. They're usually good for 3 years and then they always come to extend it out to give us enough oil to do what we wanna do.
So when did they extend it out?
It was right before Joe Sachs retired and
Yeah.
That's been probably 3 years.
I wanna say around COVID. Either right before or right after.
Yeah, I thought at last meeting you guys said this was the last year.
It's last year to mow,
Oh, okay.
but they have, if we mow next year, they're gonna have to write a new work order or agreement.
What's good is that if they're not gonna follow through?
Well, they're supposed to do it next year. Chip.
Supposedly they're not doing anything in Bradford County this year,
Yeah,
is what I was
Bradford
told.
County.
Because the crew isn't going to be in Bradford County this year. That's what I was told, because I asked.
Well, yeah, because it's your road too, and it's like, you don't want these roads to fall
Well, yeah, but
apart.
it wasn't, yeah. I have someone who can ask that question.
I know you do.
So,
Our road's getting in rough shape.
It's getting.
Well, there's parts of ours that are, if you go on up over the
Mhm.
hill. And
Both of
right
them.
there in front of our, or just above our driveway.
And
That side needs pretty much, the shoulders done the whole way and, this wide, both shoulders. In the hill past your place, don't have any tar and chip up, that's dirt from the school buses down over there. And down in front of the barn needs a lot, down on the corner with the railroad track.
well, Chris called me right after the last meeting and was complaining about all that mud in the road. Did you see how I said, Chris, he needed to stop.
Mm-hmm,
There was no, hell, the mailman tried to turn in the Cindy driveway and he couldn't even turn.
yep.
In front of that
It
buggy,
was
slid
bad.
right on by.
When we
It's cleaned
put
up now.
cold patch in the holes
Yeah, that's
last
nice.
week or whatever, he started spreading that same one we did that, and I stopped and I said, can you please, I said, it's already in there, can you straddle them holes for the day, because I said, we just wasted all that if you run over them. He said, yeah, I'll try, and it looks like he did, it stayed pretty good, I don't think you run over any of them. But it's still, it's decent today, this morning, was, they may be flooded out by now, but it was
Where's he
still-
getting the manure out of your pit?
Yeah,
Is it empty yet?
no.
Still a lot in there.
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
You'll build a spread. There's water laying on your flat fields
I
down there.
know, the creek is over its banks pretty much, when I went to Towanda.
It's 2 banks there by Clark's.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That was a big tree that grew over there in Driscoll's yard, right across the road.
Did it go across the road? We
Oh,
just saw the,
It went all the way across the road into the barnyard there by the milk house.
oh,
Cause Dolly come up to get the bus on Sunday afternoon.
oh, that's when it happened?
Yeah, cause some people got through to the game and some people didn't. Brian and Laura had to turn around and go back. Dolly went down there with the bus, she had to turn around and go back, and she no more got home, she called and said, there's a tree across the road, and I said, yeah, I know. And, she said, well, I have to go up through there tomorrow morning. I go, it'll be all cleaned up by the time you get there, Dolly.
Where
They
was
were
that
down
at?
right there by Brian Driscoll, where he used to live in the White House, where Albert Clark used to live.
Park house.
Okay, yeah.
You couldn't get through there with a car, it was that low to the ground,
Was
and it was a big limb.
Yeah, we saw it was broke off. It was like, where is it?
Yeah, they cut it up and, Gluckner kids got it there by the garage.
Who did it? The fire company?
Fire company was called, but they just cut it up enough to get the road open.
Mm-hmm.
How's Wally? Is she doing good? She's still home, right? She's what, 96?
6.
Wow.
Betty asked me if anybody lived in there. And so then we went by one day. She was coming out the mailbox.
Well, probably Patricia.
Yeah, could have been.
because she doesn't walk that far.
Oh, okay. Who's Patricia?
The daughter.
Steve's sister.
Oh, Steve's sister?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, what else we got? Okay, we're done.
And that's all I got.
We're gonna say the meeting's adjourned. We covered everything.
June 2nd?
Oh, I got one thing, two things to tell you. Code is gonna raise the insulation value on new construction. And I don't know how quick this comes in, but when they start wiring new buildings, they gotta put a shut off outside of the house,
Electric shut off?
electric shut off.
Well, I had Denny Dean come, cause I'm running everything in the garage in my place, it's all 100 amp. And the air compressor kicks on, the stove is on, the breaker kicks. And so you can't use 6x6s to put your meter on anymore, you gotta put steel posts in the ground and use that conduit stuff with holes in it, and bolt it to pipes. And I said something, and Bone said, yeah, they went and put goods box in up there with 6x6s for solar panels, and they come to inspect it and said, you gotta take that out, it's not legal anymore. So they had to tear it all out and get these steel posts.
You would think wood would be better because if something happened and it did start shorting out, a kid touch that steel post is gonna get juiced. If they touch wood, it's not gonna bother them.
No,
No, that don't make sense to me.
what?
Yeah, well, the shut off is in case of a fire inside, it gets shut off.
Did they say what they're gonna raise the insulation value for roofs to?
I don't remember. I don't think they did. They're gonna increase it.